for the last 20 years or even longer, there has been a huge push from governments and multinational pharmaceutical corporations to vaccinate everyone. Sometimes vaccinating babies as soon as they're born with injection after injection after injection. There are people who are now coming forward and saying that there's a problem with just vaccinating everybody and saying everybody needs a vaccination for just about everything these days. I would like to get Paul's perspective on vaccinations.
Yeah. Again, guys, there's another whole side that maybe you're not hearing. And there's a bunch of articles from doctors, nutritionists, I mean serious guys. One article I read was called Vaccine Facts You're Not Supposed to Know About. You might want to Google that. It's in English, okay? It talks about the dangers of vaccinations. Here's some of the stuff they said. Remember, these are serious scientists, okay? One, they contribute to allergy problems, asthma, can permanently disturb the immune system in children, give you chronic fatigue, AIDS, I'm not making this up, learning disabilities. Before vaccinations were introduced, okay, before, we were introduced for diphtheria, tetanus, and the whooping cough, the rate of these were actually very low. Example, diphtheria was 300 people in every million. After mass vaccinations were introduced into the European countries in 1940, the number dramatically increased. You thought I was going to say decreased, didn't you? No, increased. Vaccinations have, you can go on Wikipedia, Google, what's in vaccinations? Aluminum, mercury, viruses, GMO, thimerosal, and a bunch of other stuff. Another point, DPT vaccines, you might know what that is, are strongly linked to SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. Okay? In one research study, 70% of SIDS deaths occur within 3 weeks of the DPT, diphtheria, so on, vaccinations. And there are several studies that indicate that autism may be the result of adverse reactions to childhood vaccination. That's just some of the dangers these guys are talking about that we're getting today. Now, maybe a long time ago, they were safer and they did help. I don't know, but I know in recent days, they're finding a lot of side effects of vaccinations. You know, quite a number. So, any comments on that, Thomas, about vaccinations?
Well, that's fascinating. So basically, in terms of vaccinating, in terms of getting vaccinations, for example, every year we have the flu vaccines, often offered to us for free to older people and younger people. What are the statistics? I mean, is the flu vaccine, I mean, we're not doctors again, but from your reading, do flu vaccines, is it possible for them actually to get the vaccine 100% effective?
No. In fact, European studies have shown consistently people who get the flu vaccinations are actually getting more sick than those who don't. Check it out, man, check it out. Another thing I want to talk about, the second thing is a company called Monsanto. Maybe you've heard of them, big company. We're also working with the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. And they are a biotechnical company that make all kinds of chemicals and all kinds of things like artificial sweeteners, synthetic rubbers, plastic detergents. They also, and by the way, made Agent Orange, where thousands of American soldiers and Vietnamese citizens were harmed and killed by toxic chemicals. They're the ones spraying pesticides, insecticides, and doing all kinds of nasty things to your food, by the way. And they're being protected by the government to do this. I wonder why. Any thoughts on why, Thomas, they might be doing that?
I would say the problem is that, especially in the United States, government and money go hand in hand. It's money politics, and the more money you have, the more representation you're able to buy in the United States. So multinational corporations have pretty much taken up shop in the U.S. government to the point that companies such as Monsanto are running certain aspects of the U.S. government. And this is not helpful.
Yeah, I wonder how many politicians are working for Monsanto, ones that have not got reelected. That would be interesting to find out, you know.
Corruption in many governments throughout the world, especially in the United States, is become the way things are.
Yeah. In fact, Monsanto was aware of how dangerous Agent Orange was before it even gave it to the government. And in India, GMO has been linked to farmers in India. They told the farmers in India, if we give you seed, you'll get more crop. They got a lot of less crop, and the crop they got wasn't very good. 125,000 Indians, people living in India, actually committed suicide. Because
Exactly.
they destroyed their lives. This is fact. Check it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of Monsanto, that's a company that basically spends millions of dollars suing people
Yeah, they do.
for not using their seed.
Yeah. So we now have two questions based on the conversation we just had about companies and drugs. And the first question is, how many of the harmful side effects of vaccinations can you remember what I just said at the beginning of the conversation?
Second question is, when it comes to getting vaccines or eating organic foods or GMO foods, what source do you think is best to go to make your own decisions?